Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Who's ready for a little FUD busting? Fear, uncertainty, and doubt busting. Well, I'll tell you what, I've got my wood chipper ready, and I'm going to throw this FUD directly into it. Now, this most recent FUD comes from a rather prominent's not a word, I'm fairly confident of that, a rather prominent chart analyst who I cover on this channel pretty regularly, actually, and I think as far as his skills as a chart analyst, I think he generally does a pretty good job and seems to know what he's talking about. But there's this thing people do. Some are not chart analysts, some are chart analysts. In this case, it's a chart analyst, but they start just spouting opinions, and mind you, and it seems to carry more weight because they're a chart analyst, and they've got a big following, in many cases well deserved. But then they start spouting doomsday scenarios about this coin, that coin, whatever, and it's not based on analysis of charts; it's based on opinion. But that's not why they have the huge following. It's not because of their intense research on various cryptocurrency projects. Yet they're sharing an opinion, and it scares the ever-loving hell out of people. Now, I will share with you at the outset, first of all, I certainly firmly disagree with what was stated, and I'll share it with you in just a moment. And it did not scare me in the least because it's absurd, but I know this will scare some people. Now, I want to be clear that I am not a financial professional. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. You absolutely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I am only sharing my everyday Joe Schmo opinion here. And I've been following this for over 3 years, the cryptocurrency space, specifically XRP, because I have fun doing it. I've got skin in the game. I have a blast. And so I'd be willing to bet that I know a little bit more in terms of fundamentals compared to this particular chart analyst. I'd be willing to bet. But before we go any further, if you would please delicately tap the like button, I'd appreciate it. And consider subscribing if you have not done so. Because look, if you're a member of the XRP community, right here you should join because it is the greatest echo chamber having to do with XRP. All right, so we've got XRP as I record this at 24.6 cents and Bitcoin at $10,661. Got the market cap for the asset class $336 billion and Bitcoin dominance at 58.57 cents. And it's just the case, quite clearly, that XRP continues to follow, in a general sense, the price action of Bitcoin. When there are the most dramatic of moves, it's not uncommon to see the entire asset class just follow Bitcoin. There have been times where XRP actually has led the market. I think off the top of my head, like 3 times ever that I can recall during the time that I've been in the space anyway. So almost never. It's almost always Bitcoin and then XRP and everything else following. And this is kind of just an undeniable fact of life. You can look at the price action of cryptocurrencies over the past decade, and that's what the charts show. They just do. And if you feel differently, that's fine. Go ahead and point out why. I love having thoughtful discussions. But Crypto Michael here on Twitter is the individual I'm talking about. You can see he has 79,700 followers, and he is a full-time trader from Amsterdam Stock Exchange. And so I have a different opinion than him, nothing against him personally. I just think that he's wrong here, and I'm going to express why. But here's what he wrote. I think we're in a double transition phase. The first one is the transition from the Wild West towards a mature and regulated market surrounding Bitcoin and blockchain. Now, that first part, I do agree. And the reason that I agree with that is not because I just magically feel that way. It's because there's evidence of this. You can see, so even just in the United States, because I'm always thinking, it's usually at the forefront of my mind when I'm thinking of regulation, to be honest, because I live in the United States in the Midwest. And so I'm frequently thinking about that. And so in the United States, it's become crystal clear to me that in a general sense, on a federal level, the government says it's just pretty well recognized, in some instances quite bluntly, yeah, we see that the crypto asset class is not going away, so we just want to make sure that people are safe. We want to regulate it and make sure that there's clarity out there, which I think is great, and there's actual evidence of that. So that's why I think what he wrote there is realistic. It's ringing true. And it's not just because I have a sense that it might be this or that. I mean, I do have a sense, but that's not the reason I believe it. I firmly believe that based on actual comments from government employees, federal government employees. However, he then wrote the following. The second one, because again, he said double transition phase. The second one is getting rid of overvalued top 10 coins like XRP, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin to fundamentally strong ones, which I have to admit made me laugh. It made me like I was LOLing. I was actually laughing out loud. I think when most time when people type LOL, they just mean that they're kind of smiling a little bit, like out of the corner. Or maybe they're not even smiling. They just mean, huh, I get it. It's an amusing comment. But no, I was LOLing here, IRL, which stands for in real life. Because XRP is actually being used in enterprise-grade software. Yes, in commercially available production software, XRP is fundamentally being used to move money around the planet. And I think that XRP, you have to fact check me on the exact percent. I don't recall off the top of my head, just pulling from memory here. But the most notable corridor, as I record this, for on-demand liquidity, which utilizes XRP as a bridge currency, is from the United States into Mexico. And I think XRP accounts for, I think, around 15% of those transactions. And mind you, on-demand liquidity has only been in production for a hair over 2 years at this point. And you're already talking about that kind of growth. So then the question becomes, do fundamentals matter? Because he's talking about XRP needing to get kicked out of the top 10 based on fundamentals, not on technical analysis. So he's not saying that XRP is not following Bitcoin. He's not saying anything. He's not saying that XRP historically hasn't moved with the rest of altcoins when alt season occurs. He's not stating that. He's stating that the fundamentals are not strong for XRP. Well, let me ask you this. Is Bitcoin being used in the commercial production of anything? The answer is no. What about Bitcoin Cash? The answer is no. What about Litecoin? The answer, still no. Bitcoin effectively is being used as a store of value. It's not driving any value, but it's the first, so maybe it'll have staying power, maybe it won't. I don't know for sure. But there it is, store of value and to speculate and trade. That's pretty much it. That's purely it. And those are the fundamentals. And so, look, and I admit that Bitcoin could be around forever. I prefer that Bitcoin be around forever. I'm not a maximalist of any coin. I own some Bitcoin. I really would like it to have long-term staying power. I don't know if it will. I just hope that it will. But, in terms of long-term viability, my gosh, you would think as institutional investors come into space, what are they going to be more confident about? Cryptocurrencies that are getting used for something if they're going to park their money long-term, or cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin that are speculative? And same for Bitcoin, too. It just kind of begs the question there, right? And so when you're looking at this, it's like, even if Crypto Michael is a good trader, and as far as I can tell, people respect him for a reason, he's probably doing a great job, in all honesty there. So I'm not going to try and take that away from him here. But what I frequently see is from a lot of these traders, because a lot of them are like more on the Bitcoin maxi side. I'm not saying he is, I don't know. But I don't know enough about him, frankly. But we shouldn't regale their opinions around fundamentals when they're famous for being good chart analysts. And clearly here, when he's talking about fundamentals, he's throwing out the actual fundamentals and utility of XRP. So I don't know how to take that seriously. And so it just scares people when you see somebody that's so notable in making calls, and maybe a lot of his calls are even right, perhaps. I think that's going to scare a lot of people, and I think that's just rather unfortunate. Because in order for him to persuade me, here's the thing. So he made that claim, but he didn't explain why in any amount of detail. He just threw that claim out. It's going to scare some people, and we're supposed to believe it for reasons? Well, look, I love diversity of thought, and if there's a case to be made, I'm happy to hear it. No case was made here. And I know because of the popularity of Crypto Michael, there are going to be articles about this. Mark my word. There are going to be articles about this all over crypto media, and it's going to scare people that are holding XRP or thinking of holding an XRP. And look, I'm not pretending to know the direction XRP will go in terms of price action, and I never offer financial advice. I don't make price predictions, none of that stuff. But on a personal level, I'm very confident about the long-term viability so long as I continue to see real-world adoption here. But there are some people that maybe are still learning about this, and I just think it's a disservice to state stuff like this if you're not going to articulate an actual case. If you want to articulate an actual case, I'd love to hear that. And I'd be happy to, in a friendly way, critique it, which is all I'm trying to do right now, because it just, to me, it's funny because it doesn't make any sense. It's this extraordinary claim with literally zero evidence. Overvalued. I don't know how you get to this idea that XRP is overvalued when really it's just following Bitcoin anyway, right? If anything, it's undervalued because today the real world utility of XRP is not being acknowledged. And so if you're going to talk about fundamentals, no, substantially off base. Could not disagree with this more. And so I had to take some time to talk through why I feel that. And just, because look, again, I'm sure that this is scaring people. And so I just wanted to share some perspective because I'm used to seeing this stuff. I've been in the space for almost 3 years. I see these wild claims. And it's not like you should just, and again, that's why I say I'm never offering advice. It's not that you should just like blindly believe anybody, including me. Like, do your own actual research. But if you're going to believe something, to me, it makes sense to not believe just a wild claim. It's more like if there's a claim that startles you, like if you took it that way, like, oh, XRP should be out of the top 10, is that going to happen? Oh my God, I'm invested in XRP. What's going to happen? Because some people are going to be thinking those things. It's like if you feel and think those things, if it strikes you that way, okay, that's a fine starting point, but then look, but is there a reason to feel that way? Just think through it logically instead of letting emotions doing the driving, right? And that's really what I'm talking about here. But it's ridiculous. And so Anthony Pompliano has stated in the past, about Bitcoin, because you could talk about how it's not getting used for anything, this or that, and he makes a pretty salient point, and I got to give him credit for this. He states that, whatever critique you have about Bitcoin, the market disagrees. And and it's true. Look, Bitcoin's still number one in terms of market cap. It's been very resilient in terms of price action, bouncing back after the bubble has burst multiple times. Credit where it's due. Bitcoin has been notably resilient. But if we're going to do that for Bitcoin, we got to do that for XRP as well. Listen to the market. The market says that XRP deserves to be in the top 10. And it has been for the better part of a decade. It's been anywhere from the highest it's gotten is position number 2, and the lowest that I recall, I don't know if it was 5 or 6. I'd have to look. You can fact check that too. But you get the cut of my jib here. It's been up there for the better part of a decade. That's the market speaking. Why aren't we going to listen to that? There are reasons. And so, Crypto Michael, I would say to you, why do you know better than the market? In addition to my questions about what are these fundamentals that XRP doesn't have allegedly that are a problem, like, please enlighten me. So I just firmly disagree there. But I'm listening to the market, and the people are speaking, and they say that XRP deserves to be where it is. And talk about utility. How about this? Here's a tweet from XRP Crow. And there's a short video clip, I'm not going to play it, but it was of Christine Lagarde, and she is the president of the European Central Bank. Yes, the president of a central bank. And here's a quote. She conflated Ripple and XRP. I guess I'll give her. I don't think she's doing that on purpose. She said Ripple when she meant XRP, so I'll just correct the quote and use XRP, but here's what she said. Even cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP are vying for a spot in the cashless world in the hope of offering more stable value and quicker, cheaper settlement. So, the president of a central bank recognizes that XRP has utility and can offer cheaper settlement. She knows that it is right now. She's very well aware. She's spoken highly of XRP in the past. And she says that this could be, she's making it very clear, this could be a much bigger solution for the globe moving forward. And I think she threw in Bitcoin and Ethereum to be nice. She didn't want to just say XRP. You can imagine, I guess just for the optics of it, and okay, fine. But she knows XRP is the only cryptocurrency that's being positioned for that use case of settlement. And it's the only one that can handle it from a technological perspective on top of that. She knows that. She has to know that. She's rather sharp. She's intelligent there. And so there you go. She's talking about the real world utility of XRP. She sees a future for it. Now, does that seem more reasonable, or does this claim from Crypto Michael, who probably doesn't know a whole lot about the fundamentals of XRP, who says that XRP shouldn't be in the top 10 of cryptocurrencies in terms of market cap because of fundamentals? What do you think makes more sense? You just tell me. Make your own decision. To me, Michael's position here is nonsense. It's pure nonsense. And Christine Lagarde is recognizing real world utility. And so to me, I always differentiate between value and price, with value being the actual utility that a cryptocurrency has to offer, and price being the open market price of a cryptocurrency at the time. And given that XRP is offering true value, it is my suspicion that XRP will increase in price rather dramatically, especially as additional people and institutions enter the space. And again, it's not financial advice. I'm just sharing my everyday Joe Schmo opinion. But I believe that. And I have made sure that I'm informing myself to the best of my ability. And I am not emotionally fazed by people that say, throw out FUD about XRP, especially if there's not an argument made. He has not articulated an argument, and it's going to scare people. Anyway, I'll wrap it up there. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything, because if anything I say are right, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.